This is a chart visualizing the factors that dictate our self-control. For a long time, the scientific community assumed that biological factors like sleep and diet were responsible for most of our willpower. However, recent data suggest that those physical needs only account for 30%, while our psychological framework dictates the remaining 70%. We are going to use that 70% to build a personalized willpower blueprint. This system will allow you to tackle a massive, intimidating goal without hitting the usual wall of burnout. To begin, grab a piece of paper and a pen. I want you to clearly identify the specific, intimidating goal you have been avoiding. Brute forcing a major project usually leads to ego depletion. Preparing this psychological framework before you start the work is the only reliable way to prevent your brain from quitting when things get difficult. Step 1 is the chunking protocol. This requires taking your macro goal and slicing it down into the absolute smallest possible daily unit of work. We can see this in action with the magician David Blaine. He's well known for extreme endurance stunts that require incredible mental fortitude. When Blaine spent over 63 hours encased in this block of ice, he didn't focus on the 60-hour total. Instead, he used chunking to focus exclusively on surviving just the next hour, repeating that process until the stunt was over. Chunking fails when the daily task is still too large. If the brain perceives a task as a threat to its energy reserves, it will trigger a willpower shutdown to protect itself. Look at your goal and lower the bar until the daily requirement feels ridiculously easy. If you're struggling to write a 5-page paper, your daily chunk should be finishing a single paragraph. The brain is designed to be as efficient as possible to conserve energy. When presented with a massive task, it restricts your willpower because it doesn't think you have enough to finish. But when you focus on a tiny piece, your brain perceives the energy cost as safe and releases the motivation required to act. Step 2 is the confidence tracker. You need a visual system to record every time you complete one of those tiny daily chunks. Focusing on a massive end state, like losing 20 pounds, often feels impossible. But when you shift your focus to a micro milestone, like losing a single pound, your confidence in the task increases. This chart shows the correlation between tracking and self-assurance. As the data points on this tracking app tick downward, the visual evidence of your progress causes this confidence meter to fill up. Pause the video and establish your tracking method right now. You can download a fitness app or simply draw a grid on your piece of paper. Seeing those small wins on paper creates momentum. This makes the habit feel less like a chore, meaning you need less willpower to repeat the task tomorrow. Step 3 is a mental shift. You must reject the common belief that your willpower is a finite battery that eventually runs out. A 2010 study by Professor Veronica Job found that our beliefs dictate our limits. Participants who believed willpower was limited would physically deplete it faster than those who believed their energy was unlimited. This comparison shows the reality of human self-control. We aren't like these draining batteries. We actually have an almost unlimited amount of willpower, but the brain sets an artificial limit on it to save energy for survival. You must learn to recognize when your brain is sending false fatigue signals. When you feel done for the day, realize that you have simply hit an artificial cap. By studying these mechanics, you can consciously ignore those fatigue signals. This allows you to tap into a deeper reserve of energy that most people never reach. Step 4 is about your internal narrative. The specific words you use to describe your habits dictate how much friction you experience. Phrases like "I can't," "I have to," and "I must" signal that you still identify as the old version of yourself. You are framing the new habit as something being forced upon you. You need to claim your new state immediately. Instead of saying you are trying to quit smoking, say, "I am not a smoker." Replace "I have to" with "I want to." Take your pen and write down your chunked goal on your paper, but use this new identity-affirming language to describe it. Changing your internal script removes the resistance. The task stops being an exhausting struggle and becomes a natural reflection of who you are. Step 5 is the final exercise. We are going to anchor your daily task to a deep emotional purpose through a practice called high-level thinking. Low-level thinking focuses on logistics, how you'll get to the gym or what you'll eat. High-level thinking focuses on long-term meaning, why you're pursuing this goal. Dedicate the rest of your page to this high-level thinking. List every meaningful reason why you want this habit. Do not include any planning steps or logistical details on this section of the page. This is for the why, not the how. This completed list acts as an emotional anchor. When you feel your willpower dipping, these high-level thoughts create a sense of purpose that replaces logistical anxiety with motivation. You now have a complete, personalized willpower blueprint sitting right in front of you. You have established a daily chunk that is easy to start, a system to track your wins, a mindset that rejects mental limits, a new identity, and a clear page defining your purpose. While biological foundations like sleep remain important, this psychological system is what will actually drive your long-term success. The system is ready. Take that single, ridiculously small step you wrote down in step 1 immediately as the video ends,